What up? Welcome to Homegrown Hustle, where local brilliance takes the center stage. I'm your host, Matt Eickman. Join us every week in celebrating innovation, guidance, and the power to inspire greatness. Let's explore the stories that shape our local business landscape, and together, let's ignite the spark of excellence. What's up, guys? I'm Racine and Max Erickson and Brooks Erickson and his little T-Rex. And we're here with Day and Night Outdoors. These guys run an awesome business. I'm jealous of their business, actually. Oh, and I got this guy.
Just a guy.
Here. We're here to talk about a really special business. I want to let you guys introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your business first, and then we can kind of get into all the stuff. But thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having us on. I'm Ben Racine. I'm the owner and operator of Day and Night Outdoors. We've been in operation for 4 years, and we run hunts, waterfowl hunts in Wisconsin and Nebraska. So, and Max over here.
Met Ben about 2 years ago on a guide goose hunt that I paid for me and my wife to go out there and shoot Canada's. We had a great hunt, and me and Ben just kind of clicked and hit it off right away. He recently started his guide service up, and me and him just kind of clicked, and now I've been guiding with them and hunting with them since 2023. Since then, we've
Is
just
that when the business started?
No, 2019, I think it started.
Yeah.
Wait, 2019 I started. 2020 was the first operating season.
Let's talk about COVID. How did COVID impact?
Didn't. Everybody had time off of work, and it seemed like people actually wanted to come hunting more. So I think we hit it at a good point, to get clients and customers.
Let's take it all the way back to the beginning. So you started this business. That's great. But there's something before the business. Let's go all the way back to the first time. Like, what was the first memory you have of going out?
So I've been hunting pretty much my whole life. I grew up hunting deer up in my cabin in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. We got a cabin up there, hunt a bunch of public land. It's like a big family gathering that we always go up there as a family and hunt. So that was my introduction to hunting, and I just always wanted to do that for a living. It was just one of those things where it was like somebody would ask me, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? I was like, I want to guide, as a kid. And for waterfowl hunting, once I got into high school, I met some buddies that also liked to hunt and got into duck hunting, starting actually. And we'd go out to marshes and with kayaks and little boats and just try to, get on whatever we could. But once we started getting vehicles and driving around and watching all these guys hunting fields all the time, we kind of got became obsessed. Yeah. Where we would drive all over the place, hours, wherever. We started going out to North Dakota as a group of friends when I was 16. That was the first year. No parents, no nothing. So
More freedom.
yeah. Yep. And definitely parents helped financially, to help me get out and do that.
So it sounds like you had to kind of figure the whole waterfowl thing out.
Yeah, pretty much on my own. I never had any mentors growing up.
You guys guided me on my first waterfowl hunting experience. A lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm in my first season, and I don't even know the season is there's such a learning curve that I'm excited you guys are probably shorten that. I like going out and harvesting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's in my book, and I want to be able to provide that for my kids.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the main goal, is to bring up people in the sport and, don't lose it. We're getting to the age where people are starting to get away from it.
But it's not easy. You guys make it easy, but
It's tough.
Tell some of the stories about growing up. Tell me your first story you remember of hunting. Yeah, what's your first time in the field? Brooks, you've probably already been in the field.
He's put in some miles.
Their story is literally just, the scouting side of it, getting into the woods. Not really know. I'm just following dad on, and it's a lot of parks, miles, cutting trees down, setting up a tree stand. We're in there all day. It's a lot.
Don't even know what you're doing half the time. You're like, what?
They're like, oh, you can learn this stuff. Okay. I've always learned this, pops. At the end of the day, it was like a big build up to harvesting. It's not like going out. Can you finish?
With a deer, you're more you're more personal with the animal. You get up to it. It's a big animal. You got to take it down, gut it out, all that stuff. It's a process.
The whole like deer camp. Right?
Yeah.
That it's like a culture. It's
Absolutely.
like people can never shoot a deer, but they're going to deer camp every freaking year.
Yep.
There's something to be said about
So like, why do you think that is?
said about going out into the woods. I don't care if you're male or female, and knowing that you can come home with something that's going to provide for your family, whether you like to eat it or not. I love venison, but some people don't. But the fact of the matter is, if it needed to provide for your family, a deer would provide for your family for a long time. You know what I mean? And there's something really beneficial and gratifying about that feeling to be like, yeah, this is, I worked for you, I put in all that work, and now you're getting something really beneficial out of it.
You know where it came from.
Exactly.
Like our culture and society has made it so easy to get food. Like this used to be the only way, and now it's like
It's also about the camaraderie too. You're with a bunch of guys that have the same goal, and it's like you're all out there to, do your best and
some of the goals.
have a
like
good time and hanging out, drink beer,
Yeah.
And that's what Waterfowl does, honestly, is, bring people together. It's one of those sports. You don't have to sit and be quiet and whatever. You can actually
what I love
talk and
about
have,
it. I started like 3 years ago.
conversations and stuff. If you're deer hunting with somebody, it's like you look over and you're like, be quiet.
Regardless, it's kind of like business. There's massive learning,
Oh yeah.
and you can know enough to be able to get a license. And like get out in the field. Like you got a shot at it, but to really get involved and like be a hunter, that takes commitment and obsession for a lot of guys. Like, there's a lot of wives out there that really hate hunting.
No, I'll speak this for both of us, honestly, but we're madly obsessed, I guess would be the best way to say it. So imagine, a group of guys being madly obsessed with chasing waterfowl down for multiple years. We've had a lot of learning, had a lot of fails, downs, a lot of ups. And that's the biggest thing is in waterfowl, it just takes years of experience, failing to know what not to do. It's more of what, you're not going to do the next time versus what you're going to do.
How many things can go wrong? Thousands. It only takes one. All the planning, like the deer camp, like there's a culture and a vibe around that. But like you're talking like archery hunting or like waterfowl hunting for an extended period of time, and you're in the field over and over. It's not like Ken Warrior type of stuff.
Right.
I gotta have a lot more technology and tools and investing a lot because you want to create that.
You want to be successful. Everybody wants to be successful when they go on a hunt,
Well, and like I bring a kid out in the field, take them with iPad.
Yeah.
All right, let's have this great experience together.
In nature.
And then they don't they're like, what are we doing this for? Like I can,
And then
exactly. So making the end result, like at least be feasible. Like even if they miss, like that's on you. Like you shouldn't have played so much Roblox or whatever.
Right.
Like that will suck kids in because then they'll get that adrenaline.
I mean, we even bring out, teenagers by themselves, like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, and you can just see the excitement. Even if they see geese, half a mile away flying, they're so excited about that, goose that's half a mile away because they've just seen a 20-pack come in and do it super dirty. So now they got that excitement. You can already see it in their eyes. Like, oh, there's, and then me and Ben kind of just like chuckle, like, yeah, that bird is down. That bird is 20 miles in the air. That one's not even coming over here.
But like, there's something about that like there's a need to make it more accessible to the younger generations so that they can have those quality experiences, build those memories, and not have to go out and build a bunch of tree stands and like not even see deer. It's hard to sell a 12-year-old on that nowadays. So
true.
Like, I don't know the stats, but I know that number of animals harvested has gone down. I know the number of, which is a problem from like a wildlife management standpoint.
Yeah.
It really is. Like the hunting is kind of built in to help manage herds, overall population. We don't have license. People drawing license doesn't come down.
Yeah.
The licenses that are being drawn, it's the same people that they're just getting older.
And they're not able to do what they used to do.
Like we play that out, like it goes away. And then now we potentially have ecosystem
problem
Oh,
for
yeah.
farmers, and then now that becomes pest control.
Oh, yeah. Especially with
I
waterfowl.
think
So-
that'd be kind of cool, but at the end of the day, I'd rather see what's established like work out.
Mhm.
So let's back it up a little bit, because I obviously really enjoy hunting. I think we all do, but we are shooting a podcast here at Brooks. Take us back to the, like, what was going on in your mind, Ben? You had like the Eureka epiphany moment where I'm starting to.
So it
the
actually,
guide business. Is that's the,
so it actually wasn't even me who, like, I always wanted to, but it was one of those things where it's like, when's the right time, you know? So it wasn't me who actually like pushed me to do it, but I guided in Missouri for snow goose hunts. That was the first type of guiding experience. Actually, no, pheasant hunting in South Dakota was my first kind of introduction to guiding experience. This one over here. Oh, I was not seeing it.
these two like that.
But yeah, so I pheasant hunting in South Dakota, kind of got in with a buddy that knew somebody that guided down there, and we took 3 trips out there. It was just like a week trip, but helped the guy down there kind of run clients for pheasants and stuff. And that was kind of my first introduction to actual guiding customers. But then as I got more into waterfowl hunting, I met a buddy that guided snow geese in Missouri, and I was like, oh, that'd be sweet, you know? So I like worked my way in, and he invited me to come down. And then I was working electrical work at the time, and I just kept bouncing back and forth on weekends. And I did that for 4 or 5 years of just during the spring snow goose conservation season, go down there, help guide, whatever, make tips when I could, you know, didn't really have a pay. Yeah, just familiarize with it. And then I started I have a good buddy, his name's Tanner Day, and he would come down with me on some weekends. And one of the times we were driving back up, and he looked at me, he's like, what are we doing? He's like, we put all this time, money, effort into this stuff. It's like, we need to start making money. Like, why can't we do this? You know, we go up, you know, we're up north, we're putting as much time as these guys do down here, you know, finding birds, getting properties, getting permissions and all this stuff. It's like, why don't we do this? I'm like, I don't know. And then he like, we were quiet for a little bit, and then I look over, and he's like, what's your name? Like, starts just asking me questions. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? And he actually built the business on the phone, like got it registered with Minnesota. Yeah. Fired it up right in the vehicle. And I was like, well, I guess I'm doing it now. And it's, you know, it's one of those things where if I start something, I'm not giving up on it, you know, like, especially something that I've always wanted to do. Is just the initial step to actually start doing it.
So what else do you work?
So we specialize in waterfowl hunts. So we do Canadas, ducks, snow geese, and then we also do bow fishing. So I don't know if you ever heard of bow fishing. So you go out at night with a bunch of lights. We got a fan on our boat. So that was another thing that I started doing in high school too. But we don't really advertise that as much, just because it's, I don't know. We're advertising it now. It's on my website. I don't really push it out or talk to people because I love waterfowl hunting, you know. The bow fishing season is such a short season. It's only springtime, so it's only from like when the ice comes off a little bit after that until like end of May. So it's only like a 2-month season. So it's quick. It happens fast, and it's hard to get people like in such a short period of time, because they're like, oh, you know, we got all this other stuff. It's just the start of summer. People are excited. They're probably booking trips or doing other stuff. So focus more on the waterfowl side of things.
So do most businesses that are guides kind of have like one thing that you?
No, they actually, guide services will have guys that specialize in different parts of what they do. Like they'll have a guy that specializes in waterfowl, a guy that specializes in deer hunting, a guy that specializes in turkey. You know, it's a crew of people, but you have experts in each field. So that's the part of the business side, that you need guys that know how to do separate things. It's like, I know how to do, but I know how to do deer hunting. I know how to turkey hunt. I know how to do all this stuff, but you know, it's just how much can you put on your plate as one person, you know?
And also, like, where are you doing it?
Right.
So, like guiding public land, guys that do hunting is like, we're going to go find this deer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy makes sense, but like, how do you go about growing this without being all the land? That's like the limitation for a lot of hunters, right?
Yes.
They're very defensive about it.
It comes down to if you're a people person or not. If you can go up to somebody that you've never met before and talk to them and be like, hey, I'm a good guy. You don't have to worry about me damaging your property or whatever. Would you mind letting us hunt or whatever? And you build up a relationship with these people over the years. And then, when it comes time to wanting to take people out on their property, they're like, okay, you've been here for so-and-so. We have never had any problems with you. They're more amped to let you take people out on their property. You build a relationship with these farmers over the years.
Biggest struggles, I'd say, being a guide is, getting the.
But also people lease property too. There's, you can go on these websites and stuff and people are up, you can go, oh, we have 200-acre parcel that you can rent, but you also have to know if there's animals there. You can't just rent a place that doesn't have animals.
For the guys who might be watching that don't know, like, what a good area to go hunt waterfowl would look like, how do you go about
Finding them on water?
Yep.
For the birds?
Birds roost on bodies of water. So it could be ponds, it could be rivers, it could be lakes, it could be just ponds in the middle of the woods. You don't know, so you just we got technology these days. So you can go on your phone, you can look at a map. Are you having a good time, buddy? But yeah, with technology, you can go on and you can literally see different bodies of water, waterfowl, it's in the name, they're water birds. They sleep on water.
So maybe let's get a little bit deeper into so like what makes one area, like how do you know where you're going to set up those little
Oh, that's a whole nother animal.
The little coffins that you sit in?
Oh, the layout blinds?
That's what they're called.
Yep, layout blinds.
Depends on, wind. It's a huge factor. Where there actually is somewhere to hide. You don't want to just put out a bunch of early season where we're hunting wheat fields, mostly bare fields. A lot of them are dirt, stuff like that. You can't really hide in the middle. Well, you can hide in the middle of the field, but we've learned when that's not okay with depending on the wind. And, that's really what controls the birds where they want to land. If there's no wind, they'll land in your field, but they might not land in front of you. They might land behind you. When we're setting up our decoy spread, we're hoping in our picture in our head that they're going to land in our kill zone. And the only way that that's going to happen is if the wind is working in our favor, or else, they can land however they want to land. But I think that's our biggest, at least me, when I go out into the field and think, I'm always looking first thing at wind. What about you?
Yeah, just wind, weather, sun positioning is a big one. So you don't want to be staring directly into the sun when it comes up over the trees. So just goose calls.
So you see.
Oh yeah, huge. Yep, you got to know what to call.
Talk to me about the business of goose and because I'm a new. I have no idea if I'm going to do this and I pay you guys to help me do it. Throw me a bone here. It's an interesting. So you have to be a musician to duck.
Yeah, gooses are.
See it. Geese, not ducks.
But you can go to your local Cabela's or Shields or whatever place sells calls, and you can go pick up a $40 to $60 goose call, and all it's going to do is a honk. All it's going to do is a that's it. And then, yep, and that's how you learn how to, the basics of it. But these calls, those you can't take it apart. Those are locked together. They're set the way they are. These have reeds that you can adjust to.
Brand is that?
This is Molt Gear, Triumph Molt Gear. Yeah, this is a $160 call. So
which is say high end.
That's about.
So everybody calls differently. The way that the air comes out of their stomach.
You were saying
He's a better goose caller than I am.
so. You just have to
There's
videos, a lot of tutorial videos, and you got to blow it all the time.
reed, imagine like a clarinet. There's a reed like a.
Fire one of those up, Ben, because you were saying he was like the call. Try to not do it.
I'm not gonna do any of that.
Let me hear a good one.
He's loving it.
Yeah. Okay. So
That was sick.
round of applause. So that sounded like
Damn right it did.
so different.
There's different notes. Once you get more comfortable and experience with it, but to start off, you pretty much just want to learn how to hold the goose call first. You don't want to cover it. It's not a duck call. You don't use one hand. With duck calls, you just use one hand, and that controls this. A lot of this has to do with back pressure, opening and closing. You're, making sure that you don't have it closed all the time because it won't make the right sound. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's. I can't really teach somebody how to blow it over the,
Other two you got here.
So this is a duck call. So this is just, I always have the duck call. I'm not a duck caller, but I'll fire it up. It's a single reed duck call.
Reed duck. Okay. Sounds like ducks.
Yeah. So this is another expensive call. This is like, it's called a cut down call. So it has a single reed. People down in southern states like Arkansas definitely like these a lot.
Field hunt.
Yeah. And this is another one that I have in case this call for whatever reason starts messing up while I'm in the field. I have another call that I can, switch a backup call.
What do we got going on?
With these guys?
Leg bands.
Yeah, leg bands. So these are,
We can get back.
yeah, we'll get back.
Okay, that's not like
This is just
you gotta
for
work
show.
that. You can't buy it.
You can buy them, but
A certain level of logic that I think there's some truth to. But so when it comes to duck calls, true or false, are they better because they cost more?
not in my opinion. Some people have opinions, but no.
For goose calls too.
No, goose calls are completely different. You can kill them. You can kill them with a cheaper call, but once you know how to call and you get it,
Okay, so how about firearms? Same question. True or false?
no, you don't. People use 870 pump shotguns that cost $400 all the time, and
Yeah, too.
yeah,
It comes to a certain point. If you go buy your grandpa's shotgun that's been sitting in the closet for 60 years and hasn't been cleaned, and it's gonna go tick when you pull the trigger, well, that's gonna not be good because obviously you're not shooting it. But other than that, if the gun's fully functional and safe,
I would say cheaper when you get into semi-automatic. The more expensive is going to do you better, just because waterfowl, you're getting into the water. You might be hunting water, you might be in the rain, you might be in the mud. So those higher quality guns will perform a lot better without having to clean them all the time. You should be cleaning them all the time, but you could go a couple hunts without doing it, or a few hunts.
Okay. So the whole business of hunting, like sports, there is a sport, but the sport is just like brand is camouflage, right? And there's all these different iterations and there's all these calls, but like in general, hunters are hunters and they kind of find their little
Yep, exactly.
like this type of gear for whatever application. Haze orange is not the go-to all the time, but there's other things you can wear in the field when you hunt.
Yeah.
All right, Phil, let's get to a business item here. So we were at a conference recently and we've used cameras in the field. This is the crossover of the business. So pay attention, guys. We're going to open the door for you also. This is a Tacticam. We've got a couple of them. We've been running them in the field. It allows us to be able to make sure we can do our job and solve those animal problems as fast as possible. The technology getting better and better makes our job easier. So you can keep doing. So we got a couple dozen of these. Phil, tell me why we got them. Other than that, what's the upside in your mind at work?
Continual monitoring of the staff. We have staff. Anybody.
He's got a lot to say.
he knows how much his dad likes those cameras.
And you could maybe a Tacticam.
You guys do baby monitor?
Awesome.
So this, you're talking to one of our customers, right? Tell them how this helps us.
We can have eyes on it, basically, 24. Some spots that an ant may be or could be entering your structure. You can put a camera on the trap, be notified instantly with captures, so be out there right away and get the problem solved faster.
Speed kills.
Like in business, it means something very differently because we're all about creating velocity so that we grow healthy.
Yeah.
But in this case, we're trying to solve these problems as possible. We can know it down to a second. When there's activity, that helps us. So
Oh,
for
yeah.
you and your business, I assume you guys use a couple of these.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you implement cameras when you're thinking about, hey, this is a tool so that I can set up for a successful?
Yeah. So, it just comes into scouting. If you don't have cameras, you got to constantly be out there and keeping track of, deer trails or, where turkeys are feeding if you're turkey hunting or, you usually may use them for big game. You go out in the woods, and then once you put these cameras out, you don't have to go back to that spot. These cameras, they send video or photos straight to your phone wherever you're at. So once you go into those woods and you kind of figure out a spot where you're like, hey, this might be a good place I'm going to come back to, you don't have to go back there once this camera's set. You can leave the woods alone, let the woods go back to its original, you know.
I remember when we had to go get the little frick.
Oh yeah.
Change the back.
And bring a little screen out there that you get.
Like actually photographic evidence.
Yeah.
All this work isn't for no reason.
Yeah.
And it like builds that anticipation. But like for you guys, it's also very much a tool.
Oh yeah. A huge.
Thinking about it, the scouting part probably a greater amount of the time you spend working than the actual, we got guys now guiding.
Yep.
So, like, tell me a little bit about like how much you invest on that side. Just
scouting, driving around, look for birds. Probably about 75% of our expenses go into scouting.
That's like
food, time. I mean, you can bring time into that, you know, since I'm technically working while I'm doing that. But yeah.
Money.
And sounds like Tacticam's getting into baby monitoring. So that's exciting. But we literally just got these, so we'll follow up with a little bit of feedback. Tacticam, I know, is a great brand ourselves. For the record, I actually paid for this to be here, and they're not getting paid at. We're literally just talking about tools that we put in a little crossover. So let's talk about like the big game side of things. So we've got all this land, got guys coming out making a bunch of racket, goose hunting.
Yeah.
Can you still guide for big game or other animals on that? Or are you guys just like hyper focused on the waterfowl?
During that period of time, we're mainly waterfowl up here. Down in Nebraska is a different story. We do deer guides in Nebraska. We do turkey guides in Nebraska. Yep. Nebraska has a lot more options for hunting. You know, we do waterfowl, we do deer, we do turkeys, and then we also do conservation snow goose hunts as well. Yep. So conservation snow goose hunt.
Something we would do.
So conservation. So snow geese, they breed very fast. They go up to the tundra and breed, and they breed in the a lot. So when they come down, I don't think it's billions. I think it's more than any other waterfowl in everywhere.
It's like they come to me.
Some do. Some will fly through, but not in the numbers that are, you know, coming through North Dakota, South Dakota, Missouri, Nebraska.
Destroys.
Oh yeah, they destroy. They feed. They're aggressive feeders, so they'll land in a field like in hundreds, thousands of birds in one field at one time, and they tear the crap apart. So in the conservation season is in the springtime. So that season opens up in February, I think, in most places, February 1st, and it runs until like March, April. April, I think, is the latest it goes. But those, you have unlimited amount of shells in your gun. You don't have a limit. Yep. You get extension tubes where you can hold like 13 shells in your gun, and there's guys that come out with like 50 round drum magazines on their shotguns. So it's crazy. It gets intense. But yeah, a thing you can do. Yes.
So it is reality, but let's bring it back to like
fun.
I'm kind of speechless right now, actually. So snow geese, I'm going to put that one on the list, Monica, just for the record. This is actually going to be a test now. Okay. I love it, Monica. I don't know how you had time to do anything. So time is limited. So the fact that you turned hunting into a business is probably good for you.
Yes.
Okay. So now I just have to ask the question, like, how do you measure the ROI when there's so much time input on the front end? Probably should have said the question.
To keep track of it, or
because
how do
you guys are still growing your business and you're making money.
We haven't profited. Let's just put it that way. No profits has come out.
Because you have like 70,000 decoys.
I don't think it's the decoys. It's more of the time put into driving, scouting with minimal amount of people to help. You know, me and Max are really the only two that do the effort up here. Now, we've only been in operation for 4 years, and especially with a service like this, it takes time to build, you know, network, meet people, clientele base, you know.
So we've built a pretty awesome community here. So let's take a little bit of time and talk about what those opportunities are.
because the experience you helped create for my brothers and I, like, it was a first time experience for me.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get a lot of that type of feeling, getting to bring your children in that
Yep.
without 2,000 hours of it. But that starts to make sense for a lot more.
Oh yeah.
That starts to be a really easy thing to bring new people in. Not the guy that's got 2 closets full of camo.
Yeah.
Not that guy. The guy who maybe doesn't even have a gun,
Yep.
right? So how, like, when you're bringing people out, like, let's talk about use the community and the platform we have, right?
Yep.
Tell people like the opportunities that you have. And maybe let's call out a few other things. I can't go because
Yeah. So, I mean, people, as far as if you don't have gear or whatever, waterfowl hunting. So, as far as clothing, we hunt out of blinds. So, as far as camo and stuff, you don't have to go out by camo. You can wear a hoodie, a dark hoodie. Don't wear bright colors, pink colors. You know, everybody has a black hoodie in their closet. Everybody has a pair of sweatpants. Everybody has a pair of water boots or winter boots that they use to shovel their snow, especially up here. You know, everybody's got winter boots. Just bring those out. As far as guns, you know, if you don't have guns or for whatever reason, we have rentals. You know, we offer guns, half solve that problem.
youngest a kid could get out of
I think we looked this up. It was like 12, I think. I think it was 12 with adult. So you have to have your hunter safety.
Yeah.
Right? It was 12 with your hunter safety.
Check it too much. I know that it's definitely younger than I thought. I think it's younger than 12. I think it's like,
we want to go as young as possible. Kind of the goal.
Right.
I think it's because we were talking on the way here.
I think if it's with a parent,
You can be,
you can be as young
yeah, if
as
you're
you
with your
want.
own parent,
Yeah.
there's no age restrictions, but then obviously the parent would have.
Brooks might be a little young.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're with your kid and they've gone through hunter safety, they can hunt. I don't think there's any age restrictions as long as you're. But if it's with a mentor or something, there's fine
Yeah.
print. I think if it's with
Yeah.
a mentor or something else, you have to be 12.
Pretty much for a couple $100 and an early morning wake up call and drive.
Yeah. About an hour,
Wow.
you know, around an hour drive.
And how long of a hunt?
We usually do, what times sun comes up around 6:30, something like that. We out till like 11. You know, latest is 11. Once you get later into the year, birds only feed once a day, so those can turn into long hunts just because you don't know when they're going to get off water.
It's like we do all day hunts sometimes when, you know, if there's north winds and birds are going to be pushing south, we'll stay out there. Yeah.
Make it really easy.
We can. Yeah, thank you for that, by the way.
And thank
Appreciate
you
it.
guys. Once we had that experience, I was like,
Yeah. I need people to do
all I had to
this.
do is wake up a little early and drive there.
Ready to go.
Really didn't have to. We were ready to rock.
I'm glad you guys had a good experience.
Well,
Did not
I had a great experience, and you were still kind of sort of a little disappointed about it. I was like, "What's wrong with this guy?" Like,
I got 12 birds.
so, like the feasibility there, and for like the costs compared to how many hours and how much land potentially you have to have yourself.
Exactly.
It makes it like you can like touch it, like it's very easy. So I think that we're really going to bring more hunters and like that experience. It needs to be more accessible.
Yeah.
You guys are great, run a great business. I'm sure there's a couple other guys that,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Wisconsin. Oh, yeah.
it's probably still not like from a business standpoint, like it's not market saturation. It's like people have the land, do they know how to market it? And
Well, when it comes to hunters too, it's like it's not only the land. Like I was saying earlier, you got to be a personable person. You know, people can go out. There's all kinds of guide services out there, but if you go out with, you know, maybe they're not who you thought they were, or, you know, you're not comfortable being around them. So it's like to find the right guide service that you feel going out comfortable with these people.
so
You know,
homies that guided me essentially.
They lived in North Dakota and they knew the place because they live there.
Yeah, you can't just like walk out into the field.
here we go.
Good luck.
Sometimes, you know, you get those guides that are crabby. They've woken up 5 days in a row. They're not happy to be there. And then you get, you know, you might get a good hunt, but you don't get a good experience. So that's kind of what we strive to do too, is not only give you a good hunt, but a good experience. You know, we're a group of good guys. I like them. You know,
Yeah, when people come out hunt,
shit, and
they don't
you and-
they don't care about if you're tired or if you've been doing this for the
No.
past 5 days. You know, they're there for an experience. You know,
Well,
they're looking forward to it. They're paying money.
note that one thing I noticed is like safety was the number one thing. Like that was really clear for everybody. And, like when somebody did something like maybe like could have done it a little differently, it was just like all right, the next time. But it was never like bad muzzle control like that.
Yeah.
Like there's a level of kind of coaching that can be given during waterfowl hunting where when you're deer hunting and you've been freaking on us off for 2 days, and you get that one crack, like all you are is pissed off if you don't.
But
Really like it. Right.
until a week before the next season.
So, yeah.
Like that was another really unique thing that I saw about waterfowl hunting that like I never even got exposed. All it was a different type of shot load and telling them where to go.
Right.
Yep.
And you guys were going, weren't you originally?
We had
When you came out hunting,
Yeah,
what
we
was the
had,
whole situation there?
we had a spot that thought we had permission on, and then they basically yanked it from us last minute.
And that was going with another guy.
No, it was just land. I had all the vehicles.
Oh,
buddy of mine that
okay.
we had it all set up.
I got it.
So to say the least, we would not have been as successful. Like,
Yeah, because Nick made it sound like you guys were going with a guy in Rochester, and then they backed out. So I was just going to bring that up as like, they, whatever.
Does that happen?
Yeah, people cancel on customers that have been planning to go out, and they'll just,
We hit you guys off in like less than 24 hours.
last minute, and they made it happen for us.
I was super
Yeah.
awesome. Like
Yeah.
our leadership.
Yep.
And something really cool for like industries like ours and really any trade out there. You want to motivate your team and they like the outdoors. Offer a guided hunt that you don't have to ship guys off to Canada for half a week to have the experience. Yeah. Our team works hard for our goals, but there's a different type of passion when there's like, we're about to go on a hunting trip.
Oh, yeah.
Happen.
Yeah.
And that's just because when we were doing that, we're like, we need to figure out how to do this again, like make it make sense. Because like the bonding again that happens there is really powerful. So
Oh, yeah.
I think for the business owners that are listening that have guys in the field, like there's creative ways that a business like Day and Night can really create a cool culture and just lean into the things that guys are already doing. Now you just bring them together to enjoy that time together, which I think is kind of magical, really, when it comes to the business world, because there's so many guys that just like to go out, be really good at what they're doing, be the superhero for a few homeowners, and they want to get off by like 2:30 in the field so they can be right. So again, making it more feasible to have additional opportunities within like try something you haven't done. That's cool stuff. That's stuff that sucks people into a culture and makes them
Oh, yeah.
right. It feels obviously excited.
Dude,
We call him Mr. Emotion.
right. No, I had that first hunt with my buddies in North Dakota back. Like you said, you fell in love. Like, you have so much fun.
It happens pretty quick, too.
Dude, I never shot a duck or a goose up until that moment, and I was like, shit, I need to do this again. Fast.
The adrenaline, I mean, just like
It's a consistent adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like deer hunting, it's like a one-time adrenaline, and it's all
I
at
never
once.
shot that many shells at one time. And it was crazy. Like, seriously, it's crazy.
Here's my experience. You're laying in this thing. It's like pretty much dark. You're bunting of goose noises. You're really excited. Everyone else is like, get down and shuffling. So you're laying there.
yeah, by the way, I'm like, okay.
And then say the words. You're like, get them. Everyone sits up. I have no idea when they're going to be at. Like I saw them. I think I got a crack off. Anyway, so I don't know. New experiences as like a grown person. There's not a lot of them, but like something about connecting back with nature, and even if the hunt sucks, people still get sucked into that. And I'm pretty sure there's science out there.
Well, there is. I've seen some scientific studies that the more you interact with birds, is in specific, the happier you are.
I think.
Is this why you took up speaking?
Yes.
Business makes hunting feasible for anybody.
Yeah.
Like literally anybody.
Yeah, and we don't charge a whole lot either. I mean, if you look up other Are we there yet? Are we
We're-
were
we're
supposed to be getting there?
We built the value up with, but at the end of the day, you can charge 3-4 times what you charge, and the value is way more.
What I was getting at is we want to take people out. We're not going to hassle you, for money. That's not what it's about. It's about taking people out, showing them a new experience, and seeing the look on their faces when that stuff happens.
When you guys came out, it was great that you guys kind of got to meet. His name's Joe, but we'll just call him Farmer Joe. Be able to, we got to get a bunch of birds to decoy and shot birds, and then obviously the farmer was excited about it. Got to come out and meet you guys, and then you guys saw how it works. He asked us to push out his car, but that's when you're hunting farmers' fields and this and that. You almost become a friend. And they know that if Joe asks us for anything, we're gonna be there like that, and we're gonna get it done.
The culture is really wholesome.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, there's a lot of money, sponsorships, dollars behind it. So, like, all the Hollywood stuff out there, like, it puts it up on its pedestal, which kind of makes it almost feel unattainable at times. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I just remember watching the same 3 or 4 monster bucks
On the VCR.
and like that, I was like, I've never even seen one deer like that. And it's like, hey, like, just the fact that there's places out there where those animals exist, that got me sucked in. But I really think just continuing to expand that, like you guys having a successful business, that is good. Not just like the hunting industry and all of that in the future, but like ecosystem, biological management. There's trickle down effects. Like, controls the thing.
There's stuff we don't even know about that it's helping, and building.
So, like, first off, I have no idea how long we've been going. So, we got to wrap up pretty soon. I'm really grateful for you guys coming on. I just got like 2 more questions. I'm just let it rip. We're doing a great job. All right. So, if you guys had to say, here's a pitch. We've got how many weekends left in the year?
We got a lot. It goes till end of December.
So you can even get a hunt in.
And then Nebraska is open until March, actually. So we got a long time.
People that are watching, if you want to come out and have a waterfowl hunt, what's the best way for them to reach out to you guys?
I'd probably say go to the website at www.dayandnightoutdoors.com. And we have my phone numbers on there. You can also go look through our options and pick what you want on there, or you can get in contact with me personally and talk about options or whatever. And that's probably the best way to do it.
Instagram, if you see anything we post on Instagram, you can feel free to give us a DM. If you follow us on Instagram, same thing, Day and Night Outdoors. Every once in a while we'll have openings and really good hunts, so we'll throw up on the story. Tomorrow's going to be a good hunt. Swipe up if you want to come. We'll say the price and information, and then if you can jump on it, we'd love to have everyone out there as much as possible. And Ben does a great job at correlating, groups. I don't think we've told one person no yet. So we do a really good job at, making sure if we can't get you out that following weekend, we're going to get you on the books.
Yeah.
Yep. And if we have to split up to, obviously when you guys came out, we weren't expecting it, but we made it happen. You guys had a great hunt. So we'll always put our due diligence forward to make that happen at any point.
You guys are itching because I assume you probably want to go scout.
We have birds to fly over.
What time? What time is it?
It's about 4. We got about
Shut up.
2 hours.
I thought you said it was 2:45.
I promise this will be a valuable use of your time.
No, I know.
Last question. What's like your bugaboo in the wood? You're like, you come in the woods, don't do this.
Oh, there's so many of those.
That's a tough one.
Turn your safety until Ben or I say.
People clicking, when birds are coming in and working, and all of a sudden down the blinds, you just hear. And you just know that people have guns that are ready to shoot instantly as they get up. That's just a no-no. It's dangerous, first of all. Say you get up and all of a sudden you're not ready or you drop your gun or whatever, So many accidents can happen from that. Aside from safety side, people moon in their face, opening the blind where sun's hitting their face, or like trying to look at birds when they're, they're right there,
As they said they're going to be there.
We don't really deal with that stuff. There's nothing that we really deal with. It happens.
I don't guide guys. So I don't.
I guess if you had to pick like a pet peeve of mine, but there's always that one guy that shows up to the field at 4 in the morning when everyone else is there. He is talking so much. Like, it's like, you know, you get that guy where it's like, you're just trying to get the decoys out. You're just trying to be chill. And then you got that one guy that's like really amped to be there. Yeah, that was probably. I'm really excited to be there too, man. But it's 4 in the morning.
This is a subtle thing. Next time, like, shut the phone.
At least let me get in the blind.
Like, when you guys were like, it's not like deer hunting and like talk. What? Talk when you hunt?
Is when you're out hunting with guys and there's one guy that doesn't help.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Or there's
The non-scouter.
The non.
Send decoys.
But something like that.
oh yeah, don't worry guys.
Yeah, I got it.
But you
Yeah.
guys, like people's paying you to do that.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah. We put the work in.
Different scenario.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the Homegrown Hustle. I know there's a lot of hunters watching. This is special for you. You know, our Tacticam. Maybe hook these guys up a little bit. Maybe
I'm looking for 4 right now. So
we got a good guy. And until next time, keep hustling. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Homegrown Hustle. It's been an honor to share the stories of local legends who make our community thrive. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Please stay tuned for more insight and inspiration. We got a lot of heat in the chamber. This is Matthew Eickman saying peace out until next time. Get hustling.